Welcome back to another episode of Real Housewives of Moto. This is episode 38. Oh, 38. That's a famous number right now. Not one of my favorite writers, but that's okay because he wasn't here this weekend. Yay. No, I'm not. I'm not a hater. But I was at Arlington this weekend. That's why I don't have a voice. That's why I sound a little tired. Like I don't know how people do this for 31 weekends in a row, but I was there.
No, like the Supercross hangover is
It
a
is
real thing.
real. Yeah, I don't know if it was just it's a big stadium. The pits were really spread out, like in a good way, but lots of walking, lots of wind. I feel like I'm wind chapped. If you're watching this on YouTube, this is also my purple window light coming through, but like very wind chapped from this weekend. So we are recovering, we are hydrating. I feel like I need to go see Doc G, but what a weekend. Like what a weekend to be there. The racing was incredible. The East Coast delivered. Supercross 2026 keeps on delivering. So, how are you, my friend?
It's
How are
been
you?
a great season. I'm good. I was so excited that we got to see each other on Wednesday. I had so much
Yes.
fun hanging out with you. I just feel like we've known each other forever.
I know.
I enjoyed seeing you, and then I was like so excited to like watch your content all weekend because you got to go to press day and the tour. So I was like living through you through the weekend.
Oh, it's so funny. Like I had a number of people, like that I like friends that I've made in the industry that were like, "Wait, didn't you just like post about Katie? Like, where's Katie? Why isn't she here?" So I was like, "I know she's in the same state, and I couldn't convince her to come, but it's okay. We know other things take precedence. Supercross is not everything, although it's
No,
close
yeah.
to
I
it."
had somewhere to be. I was gone since Tuesday, so I already feel bad for leaving Riley. So I was like, I'm gonna have to sit this one out. But I'm hoping I get to go to Salt Lake.
Well, if your boy Eli is still in it, you have got to be there.
I'm for sure going. It basically depends on that.
Yeah, he looked real good this weekend. We will make it there to the 450 main, but in the interim, I got physically as close to Eli, not counting an interview line, as I have ever been in my life, and it was terrifying.
It's so funny how intimidating he is though, because he's shy, like we're shy coming up to him, but he's also shy, but he's so intimidating.
I mean, there all the things that went through my brain where I was like, I want to ask him about the kids. I want to ask him about Jessica. I want to ask him about Arizona, like all of the things. And then I would look over at him and I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. Like he's so scary. I can't. And I had
Did
two
you make eye
opportunities.
contact?
We definitely made eye contact. So I can say that like Eli knows that my body as a human, as I exist, that's about it. But even on press day, like, I mean, he came out with AP at the same time and like just the whole energy changed, like it was like, oh, okay, the big boys are here, but gosh, he is, it's the eyes. I was talking to somebody. It's just like his eye, he's always locked in. And John is the same way. I was watching John, like we, on Saturday morning, we got to do track walk. And even during, chapel, which was so cool getting to stay for the chapel service. Like John is looking at every gate. He's squatting down and looking at the lines off the gate. And I was just like, man, these Tomacs are a breed apart. Like they are built different. So yeah, it was very, I mean, just being around him, like just the energy around him. Like he's different. There's something special about him. I mean, that's why he's 33 and still in this and still, right there. So yeah. Where do we start? We start Friday?
I just want you to start from like you pulling up in the parking lot for your first press day.
It's funny. Like I had a number of people like in the off season that were like, are you going to do press this year? And I was like, probably not, because I don't think I'll get approved for it. And there's a formal application process. It's online. You have to fill out like all your numbers for all of the websites and, in TikTok and all that. And I don't even do TikTok. And like, I don't really do YouTube, like I push these out to YouTube, but that's about it. So I was like, I'm not really going to do it. At that point, I didn't know if I was going to go to Houston. I definitely didn't know that we were going to go to Nashville. So I was like, I'm only going for one race. They're not going to approve it. So I don't know. I just got like a wild hair on Wednesday last week. And I was like, okay, I'm going to apply. I'm going to email Sean Brennan, the PR lead, for Feld. And, didn't hear back. And then Thursday night at like 10 o'clock, I'm going to bed. We're watching the Olympics. And I get an email back from Sean that was like, hey, Aly, we'd love to host you. And I threw my phone across the bed. Like Tim had no idea what was happening. I was just like, oh my God. He was like, "What is happening?" And I was like, "I'm going to press day. I'm going to press day." I was like, "I gotta wash my hair. I gotta," like, all the girl things immediately
Just
rushed
went
to my
into
brain.
panic. I know you text me and you're like, "Tim told me I need to take some melatonin and go to
There was
sleep."
no sleep, like, at all. Like, I texted my mom that night, and then the next morning, my mom texted me at, like, 6 o'clock. She's like, "Did you get any sleep?" And I was like, "Absolutely not." Like, I was living on Red Bull all day. Um, so, yeah, I shoot my shot, and Sean was like, "Come, meet Emily." Emily is I was following her. She's one of the girls that go on tour with the team and or with Supercross, and it's so funny because her mom is also a follower of mine, and she messaged me and she was like, "Have so much fun at press day." And I was like, "How do you know that? Like, that's not public knowledge." She was like, "Well, Emily's going to meet you at the tunnel. Like, she's going to be your escort." So I was like, "Oh my gosh, I love that." Like, I just
That's
all the
so
girls.
funny. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
everyone
So,
is, like, fangirling over you, you know?
well,
Like,
I felt very fish out of water. Like, I'm grateful. I'm so grateful that I could go in a group. So when I showed up on Friday, I went with all of the veterans from Veterans MX who were there to like just watch and interact on press day, because otherwise it's like you walk down like the tunnel like down to the ground, and it's just like the giant AMA truck and the Alpine Stars medical rig and then like all the bulldozers, and then you just walk out on the dirt and there's all the riders, like there's everybody. Like it was so intimidating and intense. And I told Tim, I was like, I'm weirdly like grateful on another level that like I got to go on the floor at Houston, because I think I would have been nerding out about just being in the dirt at Dallas, so I was like,
yeah.
"Oh, I'm a pro at this. Like, watch your feet,
Yeah.
don't eat shit," like, especially in that slippery red clay. Um, so went down with the big group, and they had all of the 250 riders already out, and apparently they had all like basically every single factory 250 rider. So it was a ton of 250 riders. Like there was,
Mhm.
I don't even know how many. They were all in a line. So that was cool because we haven't seen these guys in a long time. Uh, Joe and Seth Hamaker and Drew. I got to go to Drew Adams, and I was like, "Listen, I got a redhead for a daughter," and she's convinced that Grant's not a redhead because Grant doesn't have much hair anymore. So I showed her Drew, and so now Margot is a Drew fan. So I broke the rules and I took a selfie with Drew because I was like, I got to get it for Margot. So but Taryn was down there, because Taryn's our girl. She's the PR lead for Cowie, and so she was like, "Do you want to talk to him?" And I was like, "I don't even know what I'm going to say." So got to talk to Seth for like a hot minute and be like, I was
Nice.
like, me and my girl Katie, we were at the podium at Vegas, and like just watching you and your mom and the champagne spray at Vegas, like, oh, that was the best. So, that was cool. Seth is tiny. He's very short. I mean, I knew he was one of the smaller dudes, but I was just like, oh my gosh, like you're itty bitty. That's one of the things that always like shocks me when you see these guys is like
Right.
the size either direction. Here's the other side of the spectrum. I was standing behind Cullen Park. That guy is a giant. Like he's huge. So we have all shapes and sizes in Supercross. They came out, the 250s were already there. They were doing a little bit of press. Then the 450s come out. And like I said, like, when they come out, like the aura just changes. Like everybody like stands a little taller. It was kind of cool to see him kind of like slot in next to each other. Like I have this picture of AP like trying to not whip it, but turn his bike around like to get closer to Eli. So it was like, okay, put the KTMs together, put the Suzuki's together. I was with my buddy Nate. Shout out to Nate. And he has filmed with Jason Anderson before, and Jason was like on the end, and he was like, "Go ask Jason a question." And I was like, "Oh, I can't do it. I can't do it." Like, I don't know what it was. It was just like I live for these women, like the wives of the sport, but like I've literally never spoken to a pro rider, like a premier pro rider. And so for AP and Eli and Ken and Jason and Colt Nichols, like all of them to be right in front of me, like I think I just dissociated. Like I think I was just like I blacked
Blacked
out.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So
I would too.
it was it was so intense. He was like, "Hey, this is my friend Aly." And I was like, "Hey, I'm Aly. I run Real Housewives of Moto." And asked him a question about Siggy, and I was like, "What's it like, having Siggy like at the races with you? Is it distracting or is it fun?" And he was like, "No, Kenzie and I are really lucky that she's a good sleeper, and she like, just wakes up and eats her pancakes, and she's so happy." And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like it was such a cute dad answer. Wait for it. So we walk away, and Nate goes, I don't want to tell you this." And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "You didn't press record." Didn't press
You're so nervous,
nervous. So, I mean, it was never my intention to like go through the line and ask all the dudes questions. But that just like any confidence I had was shot after that. Like I was like, I'm done, I'm out. I just stood back and took pictures, and so that was a bummer. But Jason was very nice, and I think it caught him off
Oh, I
guard to have a
love that.
question like about his kid. Like I don't think that anybody's asked him that. So that was fun, but, definitely was like, "Cool, yep, I'm out of my league."
That's so funny. I mean, I would much rather hear about that question than, "What'd you work on the bike this week? Any
Uh-huh.
changes?"
Yep.
Like, it's so repetitive. So, I
Yeah.
loved your angle in the media scrum with the managers. Like, we need to hear more of that stuff.
I would love to be that person. I will say, speaking of the repetitiveness, just to give someone a shout out in the repetitiveness, I was so impressed by AP for multiple things this weekend. But Aaron, okay, there's a pecking order, and in the media, like who goes first. I witnessed that. And there's also like people like, they immediately go up to Ken and Eli, like those are number one, and Hunter.
Do
Like
they
Hunter,
have, like, a line behind them? Like,
eh,
how does it even work?
they kind of all just like swarm. And then it's just kind of like who can get in first. And so I was sitting, off right off of Aaron and Eli for most of it and listening to Aaron. Like Aaron got the same question like 5 times and he answered it like I would have been like, I've already been asked that, you doofus. But I would have been so mean. I would have been so bored. But Aaron brings the same energy, the same smile. Like I just I love Aaron Bud.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that and then Aaron I went to Billy Bob's, we'll get there to AP's event and he signed like 100 autographs after doing like that chat with Carson Brown and Jace and smile interacting with everybody. I just and it was like 10 o'clock at night at that point. Maybe it wasn't that late. No, it wasn't that late. 9 o'clock. But I'm like, I don't know how you do this. Like on top of like racing a dirt bike where you could die every day and then to like engage with people. I'm so
Yeah,
impressed by that.
he's for sure a people person. Like, I think he enjoys being around people and talking to people
Yeah.
because, yeah, I couldn't even imagine that. Like, that just sounds so exhausting.
I think you have to because obviously Eli does not enjoy it, you
Yeah.
know? And if you don't, it's a massive drain, Like
Mhm.
I don't know how anybody could do that. And just not come across as anything other than genuine. Like it's not fake, Like it's not like, I watched him after the interview line was over and it's not like the mask dropped and he was like, "Oh, whatever." Like it was like the same energy and he like walked over to the KTM table where all the guys were and, just God, it was so cool. So
I
shout
I
out
love
AP.
that. That must have been so cool to witness, like, just to,
Yeah.
like, see behind the actual what we see after press day on YouTube
Mhm. Yep.
and just people watch and, like,
Yeah.
see their body language and all of that, like, that's so
Mhm.
cool you got to experience that.
It was really cool. So I did originally I was not supposed to be going to the manager scrum. But Sean was like, "Here's your shot. Here's your chance." And so he like walked me over to this like little tiny room where the podium was set up. And it's like all Moto Bro media. Lewis is there, Dark is there, Racer X, all the people. Um, and Haley, my girl Haley, she's like, "Hey, okay, if you want to ask a question, like you just look at me and I'll give you the microphone." And I was like, "Okay, I gotta think of a question." And like the first thing I thought of as I was like, I told you this, I was like, I wanted to ask Ian Harrison about, having a roster full of dads with big families, not Prado, but Aaron and Eli. Like they both have 3 kids. I don't think that does any other rider have 3? Chad had 3. Anyhow, that's 6 kids between 2 riders. I want to ask that. But anyhow, I came in and Ian was on the podium, so I didn't get to ask him that. But I got to ask Scuba Steve from Triumph. I got to ask Robbie Malinowski from Club, and I got to ask Will Hahn from Star. And it was definitely funny, like, because you have to like introduce yourself, So I'm like, it's Aly from Real Housewives of Moto. Like, there was definitely like a chuckle in the room when I said Real Housewives of Moto
Really?
every
Did
time.
everyone, like, turn around and look at you?
Oh, when I first came in, because I had to walk like all the way behind everybody. Like I came in on the side and you have to like work your way behind the camera. And I didn't have an official badge on because like I said, I didn't get a press pass. It was kind of like a here, come be here.
Mhm.
But yeah, I really enjoyed that. I could have asked a million more questions about dad life and, all the things. But that was again, I think I just like dissociated. If Haley had not been there, I would not have been able to do it. Like she was my hype queen. I had Nate, he's my hype king. So I probably would have fainted. I feel like I was like shaking. So somehow survived it. And then it was really cool that night. I was at Billy Bob's and I guess that's like when they had uploaded it and like started checking my DMs and people were like, "Oh my God, I heard you on the manager's scrum." Like it was so cool. So that was not planned. I had no questions prepped. Like that was just like wing it. So
Well, you killed it. You were a natural, like,
You.
so confident, didn't get tongue-tied, like, knew what you were doing, so
By the grace of God, because
so exciting.
I immediately like our girl Taryn came in and I was like, I need to go pee right now because I feel like if anything else cool happens to me, I'm gonna pee my pants because I'm not holding it together right now. So after that, Taryn and I walked back to the pits and um riders were kind of, changing into clothes, like out of their pit gear or whatever. Up walk Courtney and Ken, Roxon. And so I'm like, oh my God, my favorites, like of all time. And so Courtney came over and she's like, what's up? And Ken did not look good. Like he definitely was sick. I was like, this is not a good sign. Like a sick Kenny is not a good sign. Um, Come to find out he like threw up right before the main too. Like he was not in good shape. Yeah. So Ken was there. Rafe, their 2-year-old was there. Courtney brings one of the boys like every other race now. And so she was saying Rafe was all excited because she said Rafe kept saying no Fifi, no Fifi. Fifi's not coming. For Griffin. That's his nickname, Fifi. Is that not the
That is
cutest thing?
so cute.
Oh, I love that.
Fifi.
I know. And so,
Aw,
like, just seeing Ken in dad mode, like I told you, like, checked his diaper and was like playing with him and swinging him all around. And, you know, Ray's trying to like clock himself, in the pylons and stuff. And I was just like, if I've said it once, I've said it a million times. Moto in its dad era is the best. And so watching it
it is.
firsthand, it was absolutely the best. So shot the shit with Courtney for a little bit. That was awesome. Learned some good tea that I will not say on record, but just I will constantly be a Roxon fan forever. I love them. So from there I went to Billy Bob's, which I thought would just be like a quick jaunt from Arlington. It was like another 45 minutes. So again, for AP to drive 45 minutes away from, his motorhome in traffic, like, kudos. That was really cool. They had kind of teased there was going to be another Red Bull athlete. I thought it meant Eli, and they just hadn't got
Yeah,
Eli to commit to it, but it was Carson Brown. So that was cool. Met up with our girl Afton. Afton had no idea who Carson Brown was, which was hilarious. Her husband was giving her shit for that. And I was like, he's like the baddest dude on any type of dirt bike ever. So that was
yeah.
fun. And they did like a little like mini podcast with Jace from Gypsy Tales, which was cool. We went and
Nice.
got a bite to eat and sat down, and Jade Dungy was next to us. So that was cool. I told you, but I told Jade, I was like, Jade, did you ever think, 10 years later, here you'd be with Eli after Vegas or whatever? He's like, man, yeah, that was a crazy race. And I told him, I was like, I was there and I was pregnant. And I think my kid is like messed up from that race because I had so much anxiety. So Jade is just, he's a delight. He had just posted another one of his like Roger reels, like Roger AI reels. And I was like, what does Roger
Yeah.
think of these? And he goes, he hasn't seen them yet.
My gosh.
I was like, we need an update for when Roger, like Wednesday morning team debrief, like, okay, this is how the race went. Jade, we need to talk about your social media presence. Like,
My gosh.
I want
Yeah,
that
he
update.
just did a podcast with Jamie, and he talks about like the Instagram stuff and how he kind of gets scared of like what he can and can't get away with Eli, and he was
Yeah.
like Eli thinks it's hilarious, like he loves it. So I'm like that's a good listen.
Who would have thought? Like, they're just so funny. Like, I love watching them because, most of the time when I would see them, it would be John and Eli and Jade. And Jade is just like such a goober. And John and Eli are so intense that I'm like, it makes sense. It really does. So, excuse me. Let's see, what else did we do at Billy Bob's? That place is huge. I've never been there before, but so there was a little rodeo that like we all packed into, and there's a bunch of moto people that went. There was like 4 people that rode a bull. Like, we paid $6 to get in and 4 people rode, so that was really lame. Everybody, like, when we like, they turned the lights on and we were like, they were kicking us out, and everybody was like, "What? Seriously? Like, this sucks."
What
That
time
was
did it
weird.
end?
I don't know when Aaron's stuff shut down. I saw Kendall and kind of the KTM crew. They were back kind of closer to the dance floor. That was probably like 8:30 or 9. I mean, like, it was late, like, especially knowing how far away it was. But then I ended up meeting Dan Truman and some of the like Lawrence VIP camp and that deal. And it was really funny because Dan was like, "This is Real Housewives of Moto. Like, don't post it. Don't vlog this." He kept saying that. Don't vlog this. And I was like, Dan, I'm not a vlogger. But I was shocked at how many people like had heard of, I don't want to say me, but like the account, they were like, "Oh, she's the one that knows everything about everybody." And I was like, well, you're not wrong. Like, you're not wrong. And Dan was like, "You guys need to come through for the Lawrence VIP tomorrow." And I'm like, "I know how much those tickets are. Those are like $1,500 tickets." I was like,
Yeah.
"Thank you, but that's not in the budget." And he's like, "No, no, no, like as our guest." And I'm like, "No, I will do that. I will do that."
Oh my gosh.
So knew that that was happening the next day. At that point, it's like, yeah, 10:30. I texted Tim because he was taking the kids to my in-laws. And I was like, go to sleep because we have track walk at 9:30 in the morning. And he was like, say what?
That's awesome. Oh
Yeah.
my
That was all
gosh.
Friday. That was like 12 hours of just straight moto intensity in my veins. Um, and like Eli, I am not an extrovert. I am not recharged by people. So I got home and I was just like, oh my gosh, like we have like a 12-hour day again tomorrow. Like,
Yeah,
but I love
literally.
it. So, but I was excited because I was like this, and I think I told Dan this. I was like, what I think I'm most excited for the VIP experience is a place to sit in the pits. I was like, do you know how many times I've just sat down on the concrete? Like,
Yeah.
there's nowhere to sit.
Yeah, you have like a home base for the day.
Yeah. And they honestly, like, they have thought of everything. Like, they have, I mean, everything is catered. They've got drinks, they've got chargers. I mean, all the stuff. That was really cool. When we checked in the next morning, they're a three-peat VIP person. Apparently they're from like the UK. So they've done this. This is now their third time doing the VIP experience, which I was like, that's incredible. The other was a local Dallas family, and the guy came up and introduced himself, and he's like, I'm the buyer. And I was like, what do you mean the buyer? And he was like, the Myrtle merchandise buyer that you just made the reel about. He was
No.
not mad. He was not mad at all. But he was really cool.
That's
That was
hilarious.
really funny. And I
Well, I
was
mean,
like,
that would make sense he would buy that, right? Like, if he
yeah,
was
yeah,
obsessed with them and bought merch off of Myrtle.
yeah. So,
So that
and I
makes
was
sense
like,
he was there. That's
yeah.
hilarious.
And I told him, I was like, I know you paid 30 grand, but you got a deal on that. And he was like, oh, I know I did. So I was like, hey, I hope you get to keep it. It seems like if it was, in Myrtle's custody that like the Lawrences didn't want it, but like he's got some really good stuff now. So I'm like, all right. And he seems like he's got quite a collection of rider memorabilia. So I was like, that's really cool. And then after that, we did the rider track walk. So we got to go out on the track like with all the teams. I think the only people that were there that weren't riders and teams and media was the Lawrence VIP, like was the other family that we were with. So that was cool. Listening to the teams like break down like what they were talking about was so cool. Like I was like, I just want to stand here and eavesdrop. Like I was listening in on Chad and I was listening in on Chase and Rango, and that was fascinating. So immediately I knew I wanted to go to the whoops because I didn't get to go on the whoops on Friday because they had it kind of like closed off.
Right.
Um, and everybody was like, this is going to be a mess. Like everybody was like, these are huge. And they were gnarly. So that was insane. Just like walking the track, how big the whoops were, being amongst like just these warriors that, we freak out about every week. And Chase had a backwards hat on. So I was like, oh, we're feeling spicy. We got the backwards hat
No,
on.
I literally put him first in fantasy because of the backwards hat. I was like, he's going to win tonight.
I know. 23 Media came up to me and he was like, he's wearing the backwards hat. I stamped it. I was like, you're going to claim that backwards hat is yours? Okay. You're going to stand on that
I
hill? You're going to die on that hill? So
can't roll
whatever.
my eyes back any further.
But it was really funny because he did come up to me and he was like, what's up, Real Housewives? And I was like, I don't think you know my name, but it's Real Housewives, so I'll give you a pass. So
Well,
that
was
was
he
funny.
nice?
It was a
Or
fine
was he like
interaction.
cocky nice?
No, it was fine. He asked like if I was local and like he knew like where we lived. It's something to do with school districts. Like I think he sells like IT services or something in school districts. So anyhow, he knew where we lived, and which as soon as I said it, I was like, oh, I don't know that anybody actually knows where we live. Like, so now he does. So I guess I need to be nice. So after that, we did the chaplain service, which was cool. Shane McElrath was like right behind us, and I was like, Shane was like locked in, so I did not want to like throw him off his game. That's when John was looking down like every single gate and like crouching down and looking at the ruts, and it was really interesting to see who stayed for that, like who, because we're all standing there, like the chaplain, was it Jake Nada, was on the like the winner podium, whatever.
Uh-huh.
And so everybody's just kind of spread out. Like Chase was sitting on the back of the berm. And then people are just kind of spread out sitting on tough blocks and stuff. So it's cool to see like people who are actually like engaged and stayed there. And then after that, we went back to the pits and walked around and did that whole shebang as like normies, and had catered lunch, compliments of the Lawrence Brothers VIP experience, and that was great. Like I said,
Did you meet Hunter?
I did not get to like personally meet Hunter, but he was around a lot, which was cool. I didn't know like what level of like kind of interaction you get with this, and I didn't
Mhm.
want to take it away from the people that were actually like paying,
Well,
Um,
that's not that's very
yeah, so I didn't.
considerate.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to like take their time. But I will say the weirdest thing is like it's roped off, so you have to like check in through like security at each side. And when Hunter and Joe were doing their autographs, like their line was insane. Like it went past the Lawrence Brothers VIP. So everybody's just like standing there waiting for like a Hunter and Joe autograph. And they're just like staring at us, like all the people that are sitting there, like behind the red rope. I
Yeah.
feel like I'm in a zoo and people are just like watching me. And I will say,
Lawrence habitat.
no,
You're in the
really.
Lawrence habitat.
Yes, that's what it felt like. And Tim was funny. He was like, people are saying Real Housewives. Like people are like looking at you and they know who you are. And I'm like, this is so bizarre. Like that is way weirder than when somebody like comes up and is like, hey, I'm so and so. Like we've talked. This is my Instagram handle. Oh my gosh, if you come up to me in public, please tell me what your Instagram handle is because I'm just as bad as 23 Media. I don't know your name. I need to know what your Instagram handle is.
Well, yeah, because
So
that's what you see, right? Like, you
yeah.
don't see the actual name, so that makes sense.
Yes, but the people that like looked at me, said Real Housewives that didn't come up, that was next level weird. Like I was like, I sorry to let you down. I am not as cool as you think I am in person. So that was really fun getting to just like sit and vegetate in the pits and not feel like, I need to go sit on a curb or whatever. So that was nice having a place to sit, which I think I said that to Dan at one point. I said it to somebody where I was just like, this is totally worth having a chair in the pits. So we went inside for both qualifying sessions. Andrea Thrasher sat on our row because we were in the industry section, and she was wearing a silk dress, which I was like, "You look chic AF," but like a silk dress at Dallas Supercross is bold because I was like, "You get down that dirt, that dress is a goner. Like it's gonna be
Yeah.
strange."
That dirt looked like it could stain real easy.
Yeah, my shoes are yucky, but they're rubber, so I can wash them. So that was cool, kind of like watching a wife as her husband was in qualifying. It's like hearing her react to stuff and saying just how she deals with it. So
Mhm.
that was neat. And I don't know if we did anything like insane in the pits. Like I said, I just kind of like recharged.
Gosh, yeah, you're probably so tired from Friday and then
Yeah. Well, and it was just like the weather, it was cold, but the wind was so bad that I was just like it was like I just wanted to sit in the sun and bake, and like recharge and just thinking about like these I posted it yesterday, like watching some of the teams, kind of from behind the scenes a little bit, which I won't name names of who I was watching, but getting to where they needed to go at all the right times and then getting their food in, doing their autographs, making sure they're, hydrating and eating, like that whole process was just like crazy to me because it's so fast. And you think about like I'm thinking about our girl Taryn, like that's a lot of cats to wrangle, and get them to where they need to go and make sure they have energy
Yeah.
and make sure they're in the right headspace. So that was honestly like one of the most not shocking, but surprising things to see is just like how much goes into the schedule of Supercross and how fast it goes.
Mhm.
And then it was time for the night show. So we went inside and found our seats. I remember looking at track map, the original track map, before we had whoops, way back when, and I had a pre-sale code in like October. And so I was like, okay, I want to sit here because it'll be near the podium and we can see like across the start straight and we can see the finish line. Like I just remember thinking that. And so we go down to our seats, which were row 5. Row 1 through 4 were blocked off like with the tarp. So we were on the front row. And
That's so cool.
I was like, heck yeah. So that was really neat. And then Nate, since he was in the stands, not shooting the ground, he like literally could walk in front of us because he had a media pass on. So that was hilarious. Nate's working for Le Big, the French media outlet, and he was assigned to cover Joe. So that was cool. Just like, watching the process, the creative process unfold and the shots he wanted to get and, getting Joe at the end of the night. So that was really neat. Um, and then, yeah, night shows. Holy crap. Like it was some good racing. So I have talked
Really good
enough.
racing.
What did you think about 250 racing before we talk about the
Okay,
life?
well, what's funny is because Riley has baseball practice at 4 o'clock now.
Ugh.
So I
What are
hooked
they
up
thinking?
Derek's laptop to our TV so I could hit pause,
Mhm.
right? So we didn't have to wait for the full 3
I hate
hours
that.
and then wait till like 8 o'clock. So I like just paused it before 250 Heat 1, but the sound wasn't working. And I was like, "Oh, like Derek will figure it out. Like he's techie." So he got home at like 5:45 and I was like, "Derek, I am stressing out. I need to watch this race."
Can't hear anything.
So and my sister-in-law and brother-in-law came over to watch it with us. And I was like, "Yeah, the sound isn't working. Like, can you fix it?" He fiddled with it for like 10 minutes and we couldn't get the sound work. So I was like, "Well, I guess we're watching it with no sound. Like, I'm not waiting, till 8, 9 o'clock to watch it. Like, Ryan and Ashley are over. Like, they can't stay that late." So we watched the whole race with no sound.
Dang.
And it
That's some
kind of
good
sucked, but
rookie-ism.
it was also less nerve wracking.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
I
it's
can see
kinda
that.
like because you didn't hear, like, the excitement or anything, um, so, yeah, the racing was good from what I could see, like, I kinda wanna go back and rewatch it with the
Mhm.
sound,
Yeah.
but it was so funny, so I thought Cole Davies had it in the bag, I mean, he was just flawless, like,
Cole is
he
incredible. He's absolutely my pick for the East, maybe to give Deegan a run on the West when we have the East-West shootout. He was
he yeah, and then he had that first turn crash in the main, and I was like, "Darn,
Mhm. Yeah. And
darn." There was some
he was 22nd and got back up to 5th. Like,
yeah, yeah.
it was
He
nuts.
would've he would've checked out, like, real fast. Because even, like, Nate Thrasher, they didn't he crawled back up, but not to
Mhm.
5th.
No,
Like, what
Thrasher
did
got back
Nate
to
get?
Nate got to 11th.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
And then
I'm
I don't know
trying to
how
think.
Hammaker didn't go down.
I don't know either. I don't know either. I've seen, like, somebody posted, one of the media outlets posted, like, a still of it, and I still can't figure out, like, who goes first. Like, it's just, like, that bottleneck was so tight, like, I'm surprised we didn't have more crashes there. So,
Yeah, because it was weird,
it
like,
was
they
real
went
tight. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, Cole in qualifying, I don't wanna say he was the first, but he's gotta be one of the first 250s to figure out that quad, and then when he figured it out, he did it every single time, and it was perfect because when you came into that rhythm, you came into the corner, you had to have enough momentum out of the corner to triple to the quad, and the 250s just if you don't have it, you don't have it. Like, there's no, like, saving it. There was a couple times where Kenny came around, in the 450 main where I was like, "Ooh, I don't think he has it," but Kenny did Kenny things and did it. 250s, no way. Cole did it every time perfectly from first qualifying.
Oh
Like,
my gosh.
and blitz the whoops every
Oh,
single lap
was
of
faster
everything.
than anyone. Did
It
you see
was
that thing that, like,
the
he
segment
was
times.
faster? Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep. I also I wanna give Yamaha a shout out. I saw Chad Reed's post about how, like, these young kids need to figure out whoops, and it definitely, like, highlights, like, bike setup and, skill sets. Not to give club credit because Chad's there, but the club bikes and the Star Yamahas all looked immaculate in the whoops. So Yamaha, I don't know what's going on with the geometry. They looked great the entire time. So very, very impressed with Yamaha in what is easily the gnarliest whoops I've seen in the last 10 years. So they looked great. Joe also looked incredible. He did not look as good in the whoops in qualifying as he did in the main. He looked a little timid. That made me scared. Found out of the 5 days he'd been on the bike that 2 of them were on a 450 on a turn track. So I was like, he's got 3 days? 3 days on a 250 and he did that? Like, Joe's a freak. So,
Yeah, what did he say? He said like, "Oh, yeah, like, I'm gonna try to get top 10 or something," and
mhm.
I'm just like, "Joe, you need to give yourself more credit." Like
I I was very torn when we found out Joe was riding because I was like, of course I want to see Joe because I was like, I'm gonna be there. I love Joe. It's the East opener. Like, Chance went out, so there goes their West Coast shot. But then at the same time, I was like, that was a really, really gnarly injury and a really gnarly surgery. And this is a
yeah,
contract year for Joe. So I'm like, I don't want Honda in the background being like, we got screwed on Jet, we got screwed on Chance. Like, this is our only opportunity, to do something in the 250s. You've got to be back by Arlington. And Joe was asked that, I mean, straight up. And, like, I think he handled it really well. But I do think that there was probably more pressure from Honda to get out there than there was from Joe. And that makes me a little uneasy. But I understand
yeah,
it from a business
yeah,
perspective, you know?
right.
So he was unreal. The scar on his neck, I think in some of the interviews
Yeah.
he's got a Band-Aid on it, but that thing is gnarly too. Like I'm
Yeah.
like,
I
oh.
saw that.
So I was very impressed with him. Pierce Brown too. I mean, Pierce was lights out. He was so fast through everything, qualifying and the heat. So not to take anything away from him because he did win the race. He did win the race. Joe gave it to him with the lights. But that's such a cool story. I mean, like burst fracture in his spine, misses all of last year and comes out and does that.
Yeah.
Like incredible.
Yeah, I'm so happy for them. Like, that was such a good race. Like, everyone did so well. It's
Mhm.
just amped up the season, the East Coast even more.
I know.
I'm so excited to like watch Cole Davies get a good start and see what happens,
Oh my gosh, I can't wait
Like,
till he gets a good start. Because honestly, I kept telling myself, I'm like, I need to watch the front of the race because I felt myself like just watching Cole because every time I would look back, he'd be passing somebody. So I was like, okay, Aly, you need to watch the rest of the race. But yeah, he was other than Pierce. I mean, Joe, like I said, Joe really turned it on the main. Dax did not look good in qualifying. He looked great in the main, so that was exciting. I was exciting. He's been on the podium now 3 years in a row for the season opener, and then has gotten hurt. So I love that JT made the "we're going to put you in bubble wrap" comment because I think that's what everybody was thinking. Like, just don't get hurt. Don't get hurt. God forbid.
yeah.
And they're already down Casey Cochran, so I
Oh,
think third.
yeah.
I feel like they have a. Do they have a third? RJ, but RJ moved up. Who am I thinking? Who's the third rock? Um, Seth looked great the whole time. I think as things kind of got spaced out, I don't know that Seth was going to make a charge for third. I think there was a big enough gap, but hey, he's coming off big shoulder surgery. Like, just write it back in. Everything other than the red light drama, like I'm not worried about anybody except our boy Jalik. Jalik went down right in front of me, and it was awful. And I was talking with his fiance Sophia, and it sucked, but he's not injured, so he DNF'd. And she said that Jalik is like, "How are you so proud of me for a DNF?" She's like, "You did not get injured." Not what is she? You uninjured king. I said that is my favorite nickname. So that now is Jalik's nickname for Real Housewives of Moto. Jalik is the uninjured king. So get through Arlington. It's okay. I
Yeah.
about barfed. Like, it was not
I
good.
know.
But
It just seems like there's a handful just cannot catch a break
Mhm.
ever.
I know, I know. So that was one that just was gutted because Jalik looked so good in qualifying in the heats. Like, there was a couple points where people were running up on him and like he didn't get flustered. Like he's there. He's got the speed. It was that second to last whoop,
Yeah.
which is exactly in front of us, that just caught so many people. Like, it was just chaos
Ugh.
there. So uninjured king. So we will try again next week. Let's see. Anything else in the 250s? Caden Dudney, I'm very impressed with. He looked great the whole night. He was throwing
Yeah.
whips like every single lap over the finish line. Like, I was like, get it, dude. So that was cool. Um, let's see. Cody Schock and Devin Simonson going 7-8 with Club. That was cool. They both looked great. Devin Simonson cut his hair, and I did not recognize him. He walked past me and was doing the Moto Stops Cancer photo shoot, and I was like, "Is that Devin Simonson?" Like, first of all, he's lost a ton of weight, so like his face is thinned down, and then he cut his hair, and I was like, I did not even recognize you. Like, I had no
Oh,
idea who you
oh
were.
yeah.
So that was cool.
I'll have to go look at that.
I know. So maybe when those pictures come out, you'll be like, "Oh, okay, there you go." Let's talk a little 450. Oh my gosh, what a race! So you guys still did not have audio for 450?
We did not.
Gosh.
We did not. And then, because I like closed my eyes for the start, and Derek goes, Eli got pinched. I'm like, dang
Yeah.
it.
Where did
And
he
then I
start?
look up, and God, I'm like, he was in ninth, and then he was in fourth.
Yep.
And I said, is this a mistake?
In one lap, ninth to fourth. Yep. And I think he said something about that in one of his post-race interviews, that he was like, yeah, I was just able to pass multiple people at one time. I'm like, that's so easy to do, Elijah. He's just like, I just passed multiple people. What? Like,
Yeah.
what do you
Yeah.
mean?
And then in his caption, he was like, counted my blessings. He is moving through the pack again. I feel like with Yamaha, like the last 2 years, he would kind of just stay there. Like, he would
Mhm.
stay in seventh, he would stay in eighth, and wasn't moving forward. And he is back to just moving forward,
Mhm. He
like,
he just gels with that bike. Like, he trusts it. The lean angles that he was getting, because we could see him go on the outside of that turn after the whoops. I mean, that's what it looks like when you have the skill set and you have complete confidence in your bike. It is poetry. So,
Yeah, because when he was in 4th forever, I said, "Yeah, he's getting 4th tonight," like, and then he somehow ended up getting 2nd,
yeah,
so
in one of the last laps too. Like, I remember that, like, he came up on let's see, when did he what lap was that where he, like, went way down? So, he was running 50, 51, 50, 49, 49. Yeah, those last, like, 3rd to 4th last lap. God, it's so gnarly. That main, I seriously, like I thought I was gonna faint multiple times, like, not to be dramatic. And also, nobody in our section was anywhere near my energy. Like, the people sitting next to us, God bless, like, they casually followed Supercross, but they were like, "Oh, yeah, I think this is the LCQ," and they combine them, and then they'll I was like, "What? Like, combine them? Like, the 250s and 4 what are you talking about?" So, like, we did not make friends with anybody around us. Apparently, like, the girl that was sitting next to Tim was, like, telling her dad she was, like, weirded out by me. I don't care. I don't care because 'cause I'm unhinged. I am not a casual fan. Um, oh, side note, speaking of casual fans, I said this in one of my stories yesterday. The number of people I saw in the pits, not just with Deegan stuff on, but with like Deegan posters and Deegan number plates. And as when I was at Star Yamaha, I was taking pictures, people being like, oh, well, maybe Deegan's just inside the rig.
are you kidding
I'm
me?
like, are you a fan? Like, what? Like, I don't,
That is wild.
I don't know how you could. Let's break this down. Let's say Let's say you're a diehard Deegan fan because of YouTube. Do you not see that all of his videos this week were him training on the 450 and no mention of Arlington? Like, what do you mean
No.
you think Hayden's there? Like, anywho, I'm not going to be elitist at all. Although the people that did come to the Honda, the Lawrence Brothers VIP, and were asking people if we knew where Hayden was, I was like, do you not see everything here is red? Like, that was weird. So I was like, I have no sympathy for those people. That is just bizarre. So
I'm dumbfounded.
yeah, that's the fan that he brings in. So, and especially the ones that were like grown ass men. Like there was, I was telling Courtney this, their PR lead. There was a girl that had like a homemade like cutout poster with like Hayden pictures, and I was like, oh, that's really sweet. And Courtney was like, yeah, those are like the kids that like their parents bring them to concerts and stuff. The parents have no idea, but I'm like the grown ass men that are like, where's Deegan? It's like, oh my god,
Ick. That would give
it,
me the ick real
it
quick.
really did. Yeah, no, the ones that asked it at Honda where Deegan was, I was like, so no. So as the resident Ken Roxon Glazer, I was on cloud nine, but also that was the longest main of my life. Like every time Cooper would make a charge, every time Hunter would make a charge, I would look up at the Jumbotron and like 12 seconds had passed. I was like, how is this so freaking
I
long?
know. I know.
Oh,
That's how I feel when
goodness.
Eli's up there. And it's like Hunter and Ken almost kept colliding. Like I
Yeah.
was just waiting for the repeat of Seattle. Like they got so close a few
They did.
times.
There was a few times out of the section with the tables, like in the end zone where they were coming up around the turn in across the start straight, and we couldn't see that. We could just hear the crowd reacting. Ugh. Watched
Oh,
it back last night or this morning. Oh my gosh. I'm so thankful that it's Hunter and Hunter. I mean, both Hunter and Kenny said it after Seattle that they ride each other clean. Like they're not dirty riders. I'm so thankful for it because the defense that Kenny had to play to keep Hunter off the number of times that he did, like that was insane. Kenny, I mean, he missed a rhythm in the table section, which that we talked about this. The rut on and in that corner into that table section were bananas. They were so deep. Like somebody made an AI version of JT like inside the rut. They were so deep, but so Ken had a couple bobbles that, allowed Cooper to get by, or was it Hunter first? I can't remember which one passed him first. But anyhow, at that point, when he wasn't in first, I was like, I hate it here. I turned to Tim and I was like,
right?
I hate it here. Cooper's gonna win. I hate it here.
Yeah, when Cooper got the lead, I was like, oh, I'm like, dang it. Like,
But
here we go.
when Eli pushed Coop wide off the track, like didn't even
Yeah.
touch him and pushed him off the track, I was like, yeah, like did it clean, you know?
Yeah. Eli's living in Webb's head rent free right now, I feel.
Yeah, he definitely had the speed. And then yeah, for Hunter to take over and then just drop everyone too. It wasn't even like Hunter like really had to gun it. Like I mean, I'm sure he really did. I shouldn't say that. Like he didn't have to gun it. He made it look easy. And
Yeah,
I'm
he rode
so
really well.
he did all day. And I'm so happy for him that that was his first win because everybody other than Jet is there. There's no
Yeah.
asterisk. You came through
Yeah.
the pack. You dropped
Yeah.
them.
You had 3 legends behind you.
Yeah. And
He Did
Did.
great, and I think it's so cool he won his first 250 there.
I know, I know. I was there for that too. So I was like, "Oh, this feels so, like, special." So, I'm the older sibling. I very much like Hunter as the older sibling who's, like, kinda had to take some of the shit as, like, family has figured things out much like he has, and
Mhm.
so I just think that's so cool, and, like, Hunter's energy on the podium, like, I'm a big fan. So that was very
Yeah.
cool. I'm
I
very
really
happy for
liked
him.
how Ken, like, wrote on Honda's Instagram and congratulated him, like,
I know.
such class.
I
That
know.
was really neat to see.
Yeah, and it gives me hope that, like, this next generation of riders, because Hunter's younger than Eli and Cooper and Ken, um, that they're not. I don't know, what's the word? I don't wanna say trashy, but, like, that they have good sportsmanship, you know? Like, I feel like in
Yeah.
the age of social media first, like, that's just kind of all out the window, like, the stuff that Hayden
Yeah, they're
puts
kinda
out and
like they're fans of each other, they respect each other, like, they all have the grind and the grit, and there's just that level of respect there, you know?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
as long
Well,
as Deezen yeah, like, maybe Deegan will grow up a little bit.
uh, I had some conversations this weekend, about the Yamaha bike and just, like, what they're gonna do with Deegan come Paula, because until the main, Justin Cooper looked terrible. Like, not hi like, no, I shouldn't say him, but, like, he was struggling all day, and we know he's on the 26, he's developing it, Cooper's on the 25. What happens when we go to Paula in, like, 2.5 months and Hayden's supposed to be on the 26? Or do we move Hayden to the 25?
Oh,
So,
that's a good question.
I would love to know that. I know they've gone through all different types of clutch shifts. Again, this is not the podcast to be listening to if you wanna talk technical shit, but I am very curious to know what is going on with the 25 versus the 26 in relation to what Hayden's gonna be riding come Paula. So, that will be something we follow for sure. So Justin Cooper ends up getting 5th. If you had held a gun to my head leaving that stadium and said, "Who got 5th place?" I would not have known. Like, period. They lapped all the way up to 10th? It was Dylan Ferrandis. Yeah, 10th. 10th.
Dang.
Yeah, it was nuts. I can't remember a race, definitely not a race that I've been at. I can't remember a race in the last 5 years that was that close with that many people for that long. Like, we've had some good battles up front, but to
Yes.
have 4 dudes that close all going at it. What was the unfortunate word that Am Cianzarello said? Railroaded, train, something that
I
had.
don't know, I didn't have sound.
Gosh, somebody clipped it. I saw it on SMX.com, so just go, something that sounded overtly sexual. But yeah, that was the train of Hunter, Eli, Cooper, Kenny. So Justin Cooper 5th, Chase Sexton 6th. Uh, Never saw Chase. I One time he was battling with Dylan and did not look happy about it. Nothing to write home about with Chase. I don't
I
understand
mean,
it.
he did so well in qualifying. They, like, had a good testing week. So that's why I put him to win. Like, he had the hat backwards,
The hat.
and then I don't know, like,
What did
maybe it's his starts. It has to be just the starts.
he got 6th
Did
in his
he
heat.
still look like Chase?
No.
Because there was one of the races I was like, that's not Chase on that
Yeah.
bike. Like, that doesn't even look like him. Like, that's someone else.
Other than San Diego. Wait, he won San Diego, right? No, what race did he
Or
win? A2.
A2?
A2. Other
A2.
than A2, I don't feel like we've seen Chase at all. Like, I
Has
think that
he hasn't been even been on the podium
no,
besides A2, right?
no, it's been a win and
Wow.
that's it. Um,
Wow.
I think he's very uncomfortable and I don't it doesn't make sense. It does not make sense to me. I've heard things about his dad. I mean, we've all heard things about his dad. His dad is very intense. But heard things that, like, so much so that his dad straight up left not only the stadium, but got on a flight and left the state after Anaheim won to prove something to Chase, which I'm like, that gives me, if that is true, it breaks my heart as a parent. And it gives me so much more insight into Chase. Like, if that's really going on behind the scenes, because, like, that just
Yeah.
freaking sucks. Like,
He probably gets put in the middle.
yeah, and I'm sure that I'm sure that Rango is just like, let me just do my job, my 80 hours of
Right.
overtime. But I don't know. Chase,
Yeah.
Chase looked real uncomfortable. Garrett wrecked out, so Garrett looked he like hit something. Looked like he was like struggling to breathe, like got the wind knocked out of him or something. But Garrett was struggling. It was not a good night for Cowies on 450. I gotta check in on Toolman Dan, make sure he's still alive. His beloved Cowies. So
He's on Main Event Moto for the yesterday's
oh,
episode,
yeah, I saw
so
that. I know. I need to give that a listen. I was messaging somebody this morning. They were like, "Did you listen to this, or this?" And I was like, "There's so much moto content on Monday morning. Like, I don't know how these dudes do it. Like, do you record?
Yeah.
Like, especially the guys that were there. Like, I saw Mathis, I saw Lewis, I saw Darkside. Like, do you just go home and immediately like turn on your microphone? Like, I'm so tired. Like, I have so much respect for that. Like, the grind is
Yeah, it's how
gnarly.
they get their money, so they need those listens.
Yeah, that's true. I did have a lot of conversations about like getting into moto media and like growing this and like being more professional and like towing the line and things like that. And I'm like, I don't know that I want to go that route. I don't know that I'm ever going to be traditional moto media. I don't think I'm ever going to do traditional press. I'm definitely never going to tone myself down. But I feel really grateful that like I have a 9 to 5 and a career that I love and a
Yeah.
husband at home that supports me doing this. And
Mhm.
I'm like, I just kind of want to keep doing this as a hobby and keep grinding. So, yeah, the conversations that I had this weekend where people are like talking about monetizing it, I'm like, yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to like make some money off this, but like, I also don't want money to complicate it. So, had some semi awkward conversations about like, you're not making money on this. Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I just like talking about dirt bikes. Like,
It's a hobby, it's fun.
yeah. So, um, definitely interesting to be on the other side of it like I was this weekend. I said something in a reel I posted or story or whatever that, they say never meet your heroes. I'm like, I met a lot of my heroes this weekend and they were freaking lovely. So good job. Like 98% of people in moto. Good job. So
Yeah. Yeah. For the most part, they all seem genuine, humble, like, that's what kinda being part of the dirt bike community is growing up, like, it's very family oriented and, it shows work ethic and respect, hopefully, so
hmm and now we go into Daytona.
it's supposed to rain.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah.
shoot. No way. Hold on. I got to look this up. When does it start raining?
Shows thundering and rain, Friday, Saturday.
What do they do? I mean,
Yeah.
like, you can't have
I'm
people
gonna
out there.
cry. I'm gonna cry.
It's just a big flat surface. They'd have to evacuate it. Hold on.
Yeah, like, we might get delays, but maybe it'll change. It's Florida, right? Doesn't the weather always change crazy
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, but it's always in the
So we might be
afternoon.
okay.
Oh my gosh. I'm looking at it right now. Hold on. Dude, that would suck. That would suck. Oh my gosh, yeah. 60% chance on Saturday and 60%
Yeah.
chance on Friday. This poor build crew. I got to talk to a lot of people on the ops team this weekend and I'm just like, listen, y'all got all the credit for Seattle, but like you guys do this every single weekend. Like and I'm sure like when you're looking at the schedule and you're looking at ones that aren't in a dome, like looking at Daytona just like my life. I could not do it. So, let's pray to the moto gods. We don't have a mutter. We don't have Chad
I
Reed pushing his
hope
bike up over
not.
the finish
Come
line.
on. Please, like,
We need it. We need it. Ugh, we've got
it
all right.
needs to shift.
It does. Hunter is at 149 points. Eli's 145, so we're down 4 points. Then 12 points down to Webb and 15 points down to Kenny. Chase is now down 27. So are we counting Chase out at this point?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, something drastic would have to happen, right?
Yeah. So I'm gonna say I'm brokenhearted but confident saying Chase is probably out of this. Ken being on the outside has got a lot to make up, but we did win Daytona last year. So I'm here for a two-peat. I'm here for a two-peat for Kenny. I'm here for pretty much anybody in the top 4 other than Cooper to get it. Like, and let me clarify. I am not anti Cooper Webb, but if we're looking at the narratives, Cooper is the least interesting to me. Like
Yeah.
I want Eli to get it and go out on top. I want Ken to finally get it. I want Hunter to get it without his brother and to get it as the first time. Like there's so many more interesting stories to me than Cooper getting
Yeah.
another one in the way that Cooper does it, which is incredible.
And
I'm
they
not
are
disparaging that.
riding they're faster than him, it's just like
I know.
the intensity is higher. Like, I
Yeah.
like Webb too, but I don't want him to get another one,
I know.
Like,
His racecraft is
the
unmatched. Like, I'll give
guy
him that, but yeah.
like Hunter, Eli, Ken, it's just the story's better.
Mhm. So, heading into Daytona, you're hosting a Daytomac party.
I am.
So let's
Yep,
make
I'm
our
gonna
pick.
make my sign today. I wanna put it on my door today. It says, this is a Tomac zone only."
Tomac zone
Like
only. I love it.
like, go home if you're not rooting for Tomac.
Well, I am not invited clearly because I'm on the Kenny train.
No.
I'll do Kenny.
I'm kidding. No, my uncle and aunt are big Ken fans. Yeah, I'm gonna do it as a joke.
Side note, I wanna know your picks. I'm coming back. I was wearing my Roxon racing shirt that looks like, oh my gosh, the Thrasher magazine, and had a couple people come up to me and be like, "Oh my gosh, did you buy that here?" And I was like, "No, it's like on their merch site." Like whatever. I'm like, "Courtney, I need a code. Like, do you know how many times I directed people to your merch site?" But then we had a dude, I was sitting with him. We were eating the nachos. Oh, those nachos were so good. But I had heartburn like 5 minutes later. And he came up and he was like, "Oh my gosh, where'd you buy that shirt?" And I was like, "It's on Kenny's merch site." And I was like, "It was actually from last year, so I don't know if they have any more." And he goes, "Well, can I buy it off of you?" And I was like, "No." And he goes, "No, like right now, like I'll pay you to take it off." And I'm like, ew, like
Ew.
my husband. Like,
What is wrong with people?
no, that was gross. So I was like, absolutely not. Please walk away before my husband like drop kicks you. So eh, that was for free. That was for free. Okay, so I'm picking Kenny. You're picking Eli.
Yeah.
How do we feel about 250s?
I'm gonna go
Cole looked
I
good.
don't
I'm not trying to
know.
sway you.
I know, but it's kind of outdoorsy,
I
right?
know.
Oh, I'm gonna go Oh, that's tough. This is nice that it's actually tough for the
I know. I
250s because
know.
it's been so easy.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm just gonna go Hammaker.
I was
I
thinking
mean,
him
I could
too.
think about this all day.
Yeah,
So I'm
I
gonna go
know.
Hammaker because he's good at outdoors too.
I was thinking that too. I was thinking about being in Vegas and he looked good. Um, I was thinking if you chose Hammaker, I'd choose Davies or other way around. So I'll pick Cole. I think if Cole gets the jump, he's gonna be unreal. I mean, he just looked so polished and I'm a fan. So Cole, Kenny, you're going Seth, Eli. Woo!
Yes. Yep.
Oh gosh. This
But
year,
this mud could really change things if it's
yeah, true. I can't think of a single 250 rider that I'm just like totally confident that they're gonna kill it in the mud.
yeah, no. And Eli's good in the mud.
He is good
So
in the
at
mud.
least that's on my side. I just get worried about like something dumb, like
Yeah.
he accidentally gets stuck in it or something.
Yeah, bike overheating or something. But
But yeah.
we could have a one-off like Justin Brayton. We could have maybe like an AP if it's muddy. We could have oh my gosh, I remember watching Justin Brayton.
AP winning Daytona would just send the motocross
Oh,
universe
we would explode.
like it would explode.
Oh, do it for Dale. Yeah, I'm here for that. I'm here for that. So if the
Because
rain is
even when he
still there,
podiumed it, like
that's when it
went
started. That was the first time
crazy.
he said it. Do it for Dale was on that
Yeah.
with the Daytona podium.
Yeah.
That was so cool. Oh, we got the Road to Recovery like limited edition shirts they're doing for each round. And so the Dallas round was like an AP co-branded one. They're so cool. They're camo. Oh my gosh, I love them. I'm so excited. They sold out in an hour. I was so glad I got there early.
Wow.
My girl April was manning it. I was like, I'm getting 2 of those. Like, don't let them sell out. So they're very cool. I'll have to share them off. Show them off. Have it in the washing machine. Otherwise, I was gonna wear it. I'm wearing my hoodie. I was gonna wear that. I was gonna wear it on race day, but just something about like wearing my own logo, like just seems like I don't know, like I'm putting a target on myself. But if you want to get a hoodie, they're online. They say Romy down the sleeve. They say Real Housewives of Moto on the back.
So
And if you
cute.
want to support the pod because I don't monetize it and it's a little bit expensive because we keep putting out so much content, I have to keep increasing my server funding. But that's okay because we love it. Because we love it. So, let's see. If you do not follow us on YouTube, we're trying to grow that because the algorithm is not my friend. And, everybody this weekend was like, oh, I didn't know you had a YouTube. Actually, I had somebody on Twitter who's followed me for a while that was like, I didn't know you had an Instagram. I just followed you on Twitter. You're way more popular on Instagram. And I was like, yeah. So follow me on all the places. I don't post as much on TikTok. We do have a Discord. I need to update the Discord link because somebody told me it was expired. Link in Instagram bio. You can get stickers. I handed out a lot of stickers this weekend, but I would love to snail mail you guys some stickers and all the things. Next race I will be at will be Nashville, which I'm super excited about. It'll be a kid-free weekend and it's a day race. And we can just like walk downtown. It's gonna be so fun. So get through Daytona. Then we have Indy and then the break, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have job swap. So Chase and Lewis will be doing that in the off week.
That's when it's gonna do it. That's when they're doing that. Oh, cool!
I'm so invested.
We're like
in it.
almost halfway through the season.
I know.
And we're all holding on for dear life, but everyone's staying healthy.
I know. That's the biggest shocker is that everybody's healthy. Like,
yeah, we're good. Like this time last year, we lost half the field.
Yeah, no, it's true. Oh gosh, that's scary. That's so scary to think about.
So we're good. We're good. We're good. We're gotta keep positive.
That's one of the things with a mutter though is like it's slower. So like it's shitty racing, but
Gonna
it
make it
pretty
through.
much guarantees that everybody's going to be fine, you know?
Well, that's what I thought about Seattle, and everyone was crashing out there.
Gosh. Oh, goodness. All right.
Mm.
So, Stay Tomac Party. Can't wait to hear about it. Katie, obviously, Eli, I'm going Kenny. 250s, Aly, Cole, Katie, Seth. Find me on Instagram. Find me on YouTube. Find me on all the things. And we will chat after Daytona.
Bye. Happy
Bye.
Day Tomac week.